Many people are familiar with such an actor as Ray Liotta. He has long had an image of a psychopathic gangster. Now Ray mainly plays in B-movies and sometimes participates in significant projects playing roles in the second or third plan. Today, we would like to find out why the rise of Liotta's career has stopped. Ray got his first roles in the early 80s. He played mainly the extras for several years in not the most famous movies and television series. During these years, Liotta was marked by a hit in the melodrama The Lonely Lady. Finding it there is hard, but it is still possible. This film is known for being one of the triumphator of the Golden Raspberry Award. The picture has received 11 nominations, in 6 of which it won. The Lonely Lady was the worst film of 1983, and it made many lists of the worst films in human history. Here Ray was lucky. If he had starred in this movie, we probably wouldn't have known Ray and this video wouldn't have happened. Since this movie, Liotta has been involved in various television shows. He can be seen on the series Mike Hammer in the 80s, which was quite a famous project on American television. The year 1987 was a breakout year for Liotta. Directed by Jonathan Demme, Ray was asked to star in Something Wild. Jonathan Demme would later shoot such masterpieces as The Silence of the Lambs and Philadelphia. In Something Wild, Ray was noticed by the critics. Although the film was not a big hit, collected in cinemas a modest $8 million, but the entire cast was recognized at the Golden Globe Awards. Ray Liotta received his nomination for Best Supporting Actor. His career took off sharply. He began to be called up in small projects for major roles. This is where he and Kevin Costner invited Ray to his film Field of Dreams. Kevin did not even embarrassed by the fact that Liotta had never played baseball and did not know how to hold a bat. They hired a professional baseball player who taught Ray to play at a decent level in a month. At the time, Kevin Costner was considered one of Hollywood's leading moneymakers. After Field of Dreams, Liotta noticed the producers and directors and began to call him to projects. One such offer was Batman Tim Burton. Officially, it is not known who Liotta could have played there, but Batman and Joker's roles are most often discussed. But for the role of the Joker at the time, he was obviously too young. Liotta himself also does not say what role he could have gotten, and judging by the rumors, he was not particularly interested in comics and everything connected with them. As a result, instead of Batman was Goodfellas, where he got thanks to Robert De Niro. De Niro and Scorsese often discussed who could play in their films together. Like many of Martin Scorsese's films of the time, Goodfellas did not do much at the box office, but it garnered many nominations at film festivals and quickly became a cult film. Liotta's royalties after this film quickly crept upwards, and for the next 2 movies, Article 99 and Unlawful Entry, he received $1 million, and if Article 99 failed at the box office, then Unlawful Entry in American cinemas made a great box office. Ray Liotta was nominated for Best Villain at the MTV Movie Awards. The role was turned down by Charlie Sheen, Mel Gibson, and John Travolta. Although it is believed that after this movie Ray Liotta became a superstar, it is thought that this role has left the most outstanding contribution to his entire career. For the sci-fi movie No Escape, Liotta again received the biggest fee at that time, $1.5 million. This action film eventually failed at the box office. It was Liotta's first failure as a lead actor, and the producers attributed the low interest in the film precisely because of the leading role played by Liotta. Ray himself explained his appearance in this film by his desire to play a major role in an action movie. Without stopping there, Liotta failed in 2 more movies in a row. First, Way Separation, Dumbo Drop, followed by Unforgettable. In addition to modest box office returns, these films received low ratings from critics. In 1997, Liotta starred in a movie that he could earn at the box office. Although everyone expected much more from the movie, Copland, it happened because of the participation in the film Sylvester Stallone, who was already losing his superstar status in those years. Immediately after Copland, 2 more Liotta films hit American theaters, in which the actor already had starring roles. The high-budget film Turbulence and the thriller Phoenix. Turbulence was one of the main failures of 1997. A movie with a budget of $55 million at the box office was able to collect only $11 million. The film was very unlucky with the timing of its release. The film's advertising campaign that started had to be stopped because of the plane crash of a Boeing 747 that exploded in midair after taking off from New York Airport. The press immediately blamed the plane explosion on a particular terrorist, and turbulence with its psychopath on board got into a difficult situation. Later, officials denied the version of the terrorist attack. The studio eventually moved the release date by a month and a half, and the picture came out in January. Turbulence had no chance of success, and Liotta's career was dealt a significant blow. The next film Phoenix ended up in limited distribution in America and then went straight to video. Also on the video got the next works of the actor The Rat Pack and Forever Mine. At this time, the actor made an offer he shouldn't have turned down, but he turned down the offer and missed out. The Sopranos eventually became a cult hit and is one of the top 5 shows in television history. According to Ray, he didn't want to go into television for good and was going to focus on feature films. The offer from the producers was for 2 years in which he would not be able to work on other projects. If Liotta had agreed, he would have starred, which eventually went to James Gandolfini. Even now it is hard to imagine anyone else in his place. In the 2000s, Liotta began to steadily play supporting roles. However, it was a very famous film Chartbreakers Hannibal and Blow. The main roles he was offered in the movie were released immediately on video, including Point of Origin and Pilgrim. At that time, Ray was already 45 years old and reanimating a career was very difficult. Not everyone can be like Liam Neeson. So Liotta took the most accessible way and started starring in all the projects he was called. In 2005, the actor won an Emmy Award for his role in the television series R. Even though only 6 years had passed since the release of The Sopranos, Ray can be seen in supporting roles in major films like The Messenger and Sin City, but more often the actor appears in movies that are not released in cinemas. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel.